Good Monday makers. It's time for another build roundup. And in this week's episode, we're going to be checking out a batting cage, a bike trailer railing, a privacy screen, a rolling hydroponic stand, a hunting blind, and a telescope trolley. All kinds of really cool projects. Let's jump right in and check them out. First up is this batting cage from Jesse. And this is actually a YouTube short that he made a long time ago. I just saw it for the first time and definitely wanted to share it because it's really cool to see videos. You guys share pictures a lot of times and sometimes videos, and it's always cool to see the different things that you guys share. And in this, he actually shared a video of the batting cage being used, and I would assume that's his daughter in there practicing. And basically, he goes through the details. I think he said it was 40 foot long and like 8 foot tall, and just like the other batting cages we've seen in the past, looks like four-way connectors or 90-degree connectors, basically every few feet to extend the run and add some support to the frame. And then I would imagine 90-degree connectors in the corners, and I think he even added some bracing in there with 45-degree connectors, maybe. But then he said he just got some pipe insulation from Lowe's or Home Depot. And the most expensive thing was the netting for the batting cage. And you can buy replacement netting for, prefab batting cages and use that in your build and, make the cage itself for cheaper than buying the prefab cage, but then use the netting in your DIY build. And that's exactly what he did. And you can see here they've got the pitching machine set up in there, and they're able to, take some pitches and do some batting practice. Super cool project. We've seen a few batting cages, and it's always awesome to see. And this time we get to see it in use, which is really cool. So thanks so much, Jesse, for sharing that. Next up is a build from Colin, and he said it's his first build, and he's addicted, which is really cool because he made this awesome e-bike trailer railing. So looks like he had some kind of existing trailer already, just kind of a flatbed trailer, very similar to what you'd see. People get those flatbed trailers and then they add, wooden sides or build up the sides to make them, more, feature friendly or, more friendly for hauling, loads of mulch and things like that. And I would imagine he's using this for something that needs the railing there to support it. And he did a really cool frame using 3/4 inch conduit and then, of course, maker pipe connectors. And basically, the verticals looks like they U-bolt to the side of the trailer. The verticals go up, and he's using a few different connectors. We can see there's some 180-degree connectors there and there. He's also got a lot of T connectors in there. And then he did a really cool diamond shape, which is really cool. We've never really seen that done before. And basically, he just used the adjustable 180 connectors at the top of this pipe here, and then the two pipes that are angled out of it make this diamond shape that connect to 45-degree connectors on the top rail. It's a really cool and unique shape incorporated into the frame. And another thing I really like about this is the fact that he used T connectors here with a short stub of conduit sticking out, and he used threaded pipe inserts in the end of those stubs of conduit, and then threaded an eye bolt in there to add the bungee cords between the eye hooks and just add a little bit more of a kind of a bungee strap, or to kind of cinch down on if there's anything in here just to keep it from falling out the back, or if somebody's going to be sitting back there or something, you can take those down and then get in there and just have an extra layer of protection from stuff falling out, which is really cool. And you can also reuse those for strapping things down as well. So if you load this full of stuff and you want to run some bungee cords across and connect it to the eye hooks in the front, you could do that. Or if you want to use ratchet straps, whatever it may be, it's a really cool way to add some tie down points in the build. But super great project from Colin. Thanks so much for sharing this. All kinds of cool things in it. Really appreciate you posting it. Next up is this privacy screen from Angel. And as you can see here, they've got a back deck that they wanted to just add some kind of privacy screen. So if they've got neighbors, or it looks like maybe a street out front, just to keep people from, looking in. If you have, furniture on the front porch and you like to just, sit out there and relax, you don't want people looking in. And also, this doubles as a sunshade as well. But it's just a really simple 2D rectangle using T connectors here. And Angel shared a close up of the T connectors. You can see in the corners, they just used it to connect two pipes at an elbow. And then in the middle, they also added a brace with T connectors as well. I guess there's technically two braces, but they got a T in the corner, in each corner. That's four total T's. And then they added four more T's to add the cross bracing. So 8 T's in total just to make this 2D rectangle that fits in between these two pillars on the porch. Then it looks like they use zip ties to squeeze and kind of tighten the sunshade material to the frame, which is really cool and gets the job done. And it looks fantastic and a nice privacy screen. Now they'll be able to relax outside and not worry about anybody looking in at them. So really cool. Thanks so much for sharing that, Angel. Next up is this rolling hydroponic stand from Vicky. And this is really great. We've seen a lot of hydroponic stands, but this one is kind of unique in the fact that it has this reflective material on the inside. I've never seen that before, but it's really cool. And basically, it's just a cube shape with 90-degree connectors in the corners and down here for this middle rung as well. And that basically just allows you to make the square shape and then have the verticals go up. And you've got 90 degrees connectors at the top as well to create this square shape. And then, like I said, again here in the middle. Then it looks like there's some cross bracing with some T connectors, and this will add some rigidity to the frame, and it also supports the hydroponic trays that are running along the pipes as well. Then it looks like you can see they did the same thing down here to support some plastic bins and some storage needs. And then there's also the reflective sheets that are secured to the frame. We can't see exactly how in the photo, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I think there's something like going through the reflective sheet and around the conduit. Maybe it's just like a metal zip tie or a regular zip tie, or maybe there's some kind of clamp that's squeezing it to the frame. Whatever it is, it looks great, and that's a functional piece that those add, or those have a function to them. And then also we can see the lights are basically attached to the pipes, or just kind of hooked onto the cross pipes and then draped down below over the plants, and you'll be able to adjust the lights as the plants grow. And then everything is on wheels here. As you can see, there's casters on the end of the verticals at the bottom. And so you can roll this around. It looks like a basement, and you can do some indoor gardening. So really cool. Thanks so much, Vicky, for sharing that. Really awesome project. Next up is this build from Sean, and this is a boat blind that he made for the upcoming hunting season. And it looks like he's got, don't know what kind of boat this is. It almost looks like a skiff, if I'm not mistaken, or kind of like a beefier kayak, just a little bit bigger, made for one person. And you can see that there was some kind of wood paneling attached to the upper rail of the boat, and basically just used adjustable angle flanges screwed into that wood paneling to add the framework and build from there. And then he used quite a lot of different connectors. I see some adjustable angle connectors, there's some T connectors, 45 degrees, and quite a few different connectors there to make this pretty extensive frame. And I would imagine, once you put the camo material, the leaves and such, and the grass on the outside, then it will kind of encapsulate the sides of the frame. And then he also built it up over top of, I guess, himself. Whenever he's sitting in here, he'll be able to extend this back and kind of bring the leaves and everything over top of them, and really provide some cover and some in the blind to be able to hide and get ready for the ducks as they come out. And then you can see here that he added a gate to the side of it so he could get in and out easily. And it looks like he achieved that by just using the T connectors. You can just remove the friction bands off the 3/4 inch T's, and I guess the 1 inch T's as well. And you can hinge pipes that way. Looks like he did that. And then he incorporated some kind of latch here. We don't really see exactly what the solution is, but it looks like a great latch solution to be able to, unhook it and then open the gate and get in and out, which is really cool. And all in all, this is just an awesome project. A lot of cool shapes and really cool connections that he made really unique for this boat, which is probably why he made it, because this looks like a pretty unique boat that he's got there. And if you can't find something that's already been fabricated, or if you don't want to pay a fabricator, then you make it yourself, and conduit and connectors is a great solution for that, as we can see here. So thanks so much, Sean, for sharing this. Really awesome build. Last but not least this week is this telescope trolley from Terry. And this is really cool. I think this is the first ever telescope trolley that we've seen. But he said that his company, or his website here, mindseyeobservatory.org, you can check out that website for more information. But he said he made an instrument trolley for a telescope system that is used for tracking and measuring the position of near Earth asteroids for the Minor Planet Center Harvard Astrophysics under a grant from NASA. So there you have it. NASA bought from MakerPipe, technically, and built something cool. And this is from Terry. This is really great. And basically, he made this framework here, as you can see, that I think there's some instruments attached to it on the front. And then it's also just kind of a barricade for the things he's got sitting inside of it. But he said this whole frame underneath here is made from 3/4 inch conduit as well. And then he's got a 3/4 inch conduit running along the pieces of wood down here. And he's got some of I think they're the unistrut bearings, I think he said, or not the bearings, but those trolley wheels screwed into the bottom of the wood panel here, and then that is rolling across the conduit, and it's just super cool. And yeah, there you can see the frame around the front with the instruments attached. He's got some cables wired and routed on there and secured in place. Looks like some other things are clamped on. I don't know all the details about everything. Maybe we can get him on for a chat and he can explain some of this to us. Um, but he's got all kinds of different stuff attached to the arm going up. He's got some pipe insulation attached to the frame just to provide a nice barrier and soft cushion. And here you can kind of see a better angle of the trolley wheels on top of the conduit. And it looks like this rolls into his observatory here. It's got a backyard observatory, and this just all rolls inside of it. And this is just fantastic. Super cool project. We never know what people are going to share. And sometimes we just get emails like this, and it's like, hey, look at this amazing thing I made. And it's just super cool to see. So thanks so much, Terry, for sharing that. Like I said, we'd love to hear more details if you feel like sharing. But if you want to see any of these builds in more detail, you want to check them out for yourself, they'll all be linked down below. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.